The last lesson was yesterday, and we learned something from computer components, and also there were hardware components and software components, and other, it's possible to say hardware and software and peopleware. And now hardware components, we said that the printer and the webcam and monitor and system unit, mouse, keyboard, speakers, and modem, which means you can touch these devices. For this reason, we are saying that hardware, okay? And now let's continue. The hardware components, we should mention some of them. Okay, it can be classified system unit and peripherals. What does it mean? Let's see. The system unit, as you see here, total hardware of the inside of the case. Don't think about that this is CPU. Some places, for example, in Nigeria, they are saying that the seller of computer bazaar, they are selling that this is CPU, but not this is CPU. CPU is a special part of the computer. We will mention that after these slides. And the second one is peripherals. As you see, except the system unit, all things we are saying that peripheral, okay? All things we are saying that peripherals. And now let's continue. We have one video, small one, okay?
Hardware and software, two terms you've probably heard of at one point or another. The odds are high that you use both on a daily basis, whether it's with your smartphone or personal computer.
I think the sound problem. Let me check, please. Okay, sharing is okay, I think. There's no problem. Sound is...
Look at what these two...
Let me check the system. I couldn't understand the problem where it is. I'm checking my sound now. Okay. The problem, we solved that. Very nice. Let's start again.
Hardware and software, two terms you've probably heard of at one point or another. The odds are high that you use both on a daily basis, whether it's with your smartphone or personal computer. Let's take a deeper look at what these two things are and why they're important. Hardware is any element of a computer that's physical. This includes things like monitors, keyboards, and also the insides of devices like microchips and hard drives. Software is anything that tells hardware what to do and how to do it, including computer programs and apps on your phone. So video games, photo editors, and web browsers are just a few examples. Hardware and software are very different from each other, but they also need one another in order to function. Let's look at an example of this using a smartphone. In this case, the hardware would be the physical phone itself, and the software would be its operating system and its apps. If we were to take away the software, we would just have a dead phone in our hands. It wouldn't be able to make calls, text, or go online because it's not receiving any kind of instructions. On the other hand, let's say we have no hardware, meaning
sorry, please, don't use this sound.
There's no actual phone. If all we have are the programs, we just have a bunch of instructions, but nothing to give those instructions to. So the big picture here is that hardware needs software to tell it what to do, but software also needs hardware in order to act out its directions. Technology will continue to evolve, and though we may not be sure of how things will look in, say, 100 years, this combination of hardware and software will be there, serving as its foundation.
Yes, as you see, hardware and software, if we say that the hardware is physical part, yes. Software is not physical part. Let's continue. In the system unit, guys, it's very easy to remember and understand. System unit is the body of the computer, okay? And everything like motherboard, like RAM and ROM and CPU, everything is inside. And this includes, as you see here, the case, the cover of the all components, and motherboard, power supply, which is given the electricity from the AC, and floppy drive and hard drive and CD-ROM drive, also power cables. Okay, let's continue. And don't forget, the system unit is not CPU. CPU is central processing unit. Okay, and now the system unit here, all size of computers and the mobile devices have a system unit. If you think that this camera, yeah, it has system unit. And this is also system unit, and it has some motherboard, some memory, and the other things, okay? And all things here, they are system unit. And what about the peripherals? Peripheral is a device that is connected to a computer, okay, but is not part of the core computer architecture. Now it means it's not inside, it's outside of our system unit. And if we think about that, what about the peripherals? How can we understand it? Which parts or which categories that are there? And the first part is input devices, such as mouse and keyboard. These are the most famous of them. We can say more input devices too. And output devices, such as a monitor and printer. If you see that input, it is entering into computer, and output devices, we can see something, okay? And storage devices like hard drive and flash drive, we can say that. And the last here, processing devices, CPU and RAM. All processes, it's coming inside of the system unit and inside of the CPU and RAM. Okay, they have different tasks. It's very easy to understand. We can show that in the four part. The first part is input devices. If you press any key on the keyboard, or if you click on mouse, or if you record your video with the camera or the sound, it is going to directly process, not directly to storage device, not directly to output devices. It's directly going to process like CPU and RAM. There are some deep information, just you can understand it here. And the second way, after processing that very quickly, it's going to storage devices temporarily or permanently. It's going temporarily inside of CPU and RAM, and after that, if you want to save or store your information, it's going to hard drive or CD-ROM drive, and or CD, you can save it. And at the same time, as you know, it's not working separately. It's going to output devices like speaker, if you listen some music, like earphone, and monitor, you can see something, and if you want to that, you can print out. Okay, and now let me see chat box. Maybe some of you can ask some question. Okay, very nice, you are sharing your information, but not now. When I ask you, you can share it. Okay, thank you. Then peripherals, let's see that peripherals, what they mean. Okay, now input devices, we can say input unit too, are peripheral devices that enter data and instructions into the computer. Okay, enter data and instructions. Like mouse, you can click it. Like keyboard, you can enter some, for example, keys and words. Okay, and the other one, for example, as you see here, scanner, for example, joystick to playing game, especially airplane games, okay, flight games. Okay, and the next one is output devices, and we are using to display and print information. And most of them, you know that I think before, to print out on the papers, we are using the printers, and to listen music, and when you watch any video, you can use the headphone too. If you want to record something with your sound, you can use the microphone. If you want to use online or to record your video, you can use the webcam like this. And the speakers, you know, to listen like the headphone. And the monitor is the very famous output device, as you see here. Let's go to next one. We have input output devices video. Let's watch it.
An input device is any piece of hardware that allows us to send data to a computer. So if you type a message on a keyboard or touch a screen to make something happen, you are using an input device. An output device, on the other hand, is any piece of hardware that allows a computer to communicate information to us. For example, displaying a message on a screen, playing sound via a speaker or headphones, or printing a document. So if you want to play music on your phone and press play on the touchscreen, you are using an input device to tell your phone to play the music. The phone will then play the music and the sound will come through an output device, your headphones.
Okay, very nice, very small video. That's very easy. Let's see the next one, the storage device. As you see, you can store something and like your, let's say, documents. And it's a hardware device designed to store and retrieve information. Not only to store, you can update it, you can edit it, your document. For example, guys, as you see on the screen, and there are some special names. These are internal desktop hard drive like this, the three of them. And this one and this one, the two of them is external hard drive you can use as USB. And this one is CD-ROM or DVD-ROM. You can plug in or put in CD or DVD inside. And the flash drive, as you see here, is two of them. We are saying the flash drive. Generally, these are smaller than external and internal devices. And the other one is micro SD or SD card. You can say that. Very, very easy to understand. Okay, let's see the other one. Okay, processing device or processing unit includes components to process data into information. And it's processing. Yeah, if you ask to me this question, these are not storing any information. Yes, it's storing, but like small addressing or some spatial and temporal things, okay? They have also memory and cache memory, and they are keeping some information, for example, like operating systems, small things, some spatial operating systems, and maybe temporarily information. Okay, there are some review questions, and I want to ask this question about hardware and components. Just please use chat box the answer. I want to see you. Okay, let's use the chat box. What is the question? Which of the following is an output device? A, mouse, B, joystick, C, keyboard, and D, projector. Okay, I'm waiting you just a few minutes, maybe 1 minute or 2 minutes, we will take it. Okay, let's see you. Don't use microphone. I'm not asking on video or microphone. Just write, type on the chat box. Okay, everybody. Okay, which one is output device?
Joystick.
Project.
Okay, which one is output device?
Projector.
Projector.
Thank you, but use
Projector.
chat box, please. Use chat box, please.
Projector.
Use chat box, please. Thank you very much your answers, but use chat box. Use chat box, please. Okay, I'm waiting you a little bit, not too much. Yeah, I see some answers, but not all of you. And you type that projector, joystick,
Hello.
Okay, most of you said projector, very nice. The answer is projector. Okay, because of that, mouse, we will click to select something on the system. It is input device, joystick like the mouse, some buttons more it has, and the keyboard we are entering some letters and some commands and some instructions. The last option is projector is output because we are showing on the screen our computer screen. Okay, let's go to second one. And what is the figure name? What is the name of the figure that is used as processing unit? Okay, who knows that? Let me see. Let me see who knows that. Okay, I'm looking the chat box. I think you're trying to type. Okay, let's wait a little bit. You said hard stick or scanner. Are you sure it is scanner? Francis Bassey, sorry if I am saying wrong. We are not picking here the name or you, and just type the correct answer, please. Please don't use the microphone. Hard stick. I didn't write here any hard stick.
Hard stick.
You're right. It's not hard stick. It's not hard stick. Okay.
Hard
Word.
disk. Hard disk. Hard disk.
Okay. Let's know that the answer. Dear students, this answer is here should be RAM. Because there is no any keys on this device, it's not keyboard, we cannot scan it. There is no any glass or for example camera. It's not scanner. Maybe you think about that hard disk, but unfortunately we cannot use as hard disk. This is definitely RAM. What is the RAM means? This is memory, okay? This temporary memory we are using in system unit on the motherboard, okay? Random access memory. Thank you very much. The answer is RAM. And the next question, this is the last of the components question. What is the name of this hardware part of computer? Let's see the options. Is that hard drive? Is that memory card? Is it CPU or is it RAM? Let's see on the chat box. Okay, I'm waiting you. Is it hard drive or memory card or CPU or RAM? Okay, I'm waiting you. Come on.
Sir.
Dear students, please don't use microphone, just type on chat box. Memory cards.
Here.
You wrote it here, memory cards. Umar Aminu, please, you don't use your microphone. Okay, I'm looking here. Most of you typed here memory cards. Yeah, maybe it looks like this, but unfortunately, if you this name and some pins on the device, see, this should be CPU. Okay, CPU. RAM is the, before this slide I showed you, RAM is a memory, and it's not memory card, it's not hard drive, this is CPU. I think you learned that a little bit. After this lesson, maybe if you see this device, you can understand it, you know that this is CPU. This is a very famous company of the CPU, Intel, okay? Now, let's go to the next slide. We have some practices. Let me check my time. Okay, 15 minutes, more than 15 minutes we have. I want to show to you, okay, some practices. What do you know about Windows 10? Maybe you are familiar with many things, and I think you should know that which useful things we have. Okay, in the Windows 10, I want to show to you three things today. The first thing is here, this Windows 10 overview. As you see, when you see that on your PC, when you install that, it's a little bit different. See, for example, from the left side, we have Windows Start menu. And when you click that, it's opening here, the most used softwares and the File Explorer and Power button, and some all apps, applications you can see here. And from right side, it's very delicious. You can go your short way, some software, for example, Office, for example, Internet, online applications, and some software offline like photos and mail and calendar, something. And now I want to show you, okay, let's see some practice about that. Using applications from Start menu, and the second one is changing background picture on desktop using template folder. And let's see that using application from Start menu, and from here the left side, you can see installed softwares from Start menu, and which is located at the left bottom of the screen. And I will show to you after this slide. Let's finish first 2-3 slides. And if you click that Start menu, if you click some of the computers, if you updated the new version of Windows 10, you can see like this. If you click the Start menu, and inside of the applications, you can see here recently added your application and the most used applications. After that, you can go down, and with the scroll, you can see the other applications too. Some of the applications are installed in the Windows 10. Some of them you will install it. Okay. And now, for example, Word 2016, I installed that with the other Office programs. And Google Chrome, I installed that after that, for example, Torrent, for example, Zip File Manager, something. Okay. And the next one, if you want to change the background, okay, like this, for example. You should go to Start menu and Settings and the Personalization and the Background. What is this? For example, here, if you click that the background, like here, see, and from the Personalization, from the Settings, and Settings also it's showing that here, and you can find the background, you can change the desktop background from here. If you want to use spatial pictures as a background, you can select the browse, or you can change default backgrounds. Let's finish that first. After that, we will show to you how we can do it. And the next one is using template folder. Some software creates ready-to-use document on the right-click option. For example, here on the desktop, if you click right, you can see this menu, and from the new, you can see that templates. No need to directly open from the start menu and the application. Just use this way. Not only on the desktop, you can use inside of the folders, right? Okay, you can use right click and the new, and for example, to create folder, to create shortcut, and the other default short ways you can use from the template. Okay, for example, text document or Microsoft Word. And now, after finishing that, we will use it. Okay, who wants to say, okay, I want to see you again on the chat box. And what is the name of this icon? What is the name of this icon? I'm not asking my secret folder and 2020, 2021. Just spatial name of on the Windows. First one is this icon. You should write on, you should type on the chat box. The second one is this icon. And what is the difference of that? Then the second one has this arrow icon. It means it will be different, right? This is one, and the second one has this arrow icon. Okay, I'm waiting you. On the chat box you can write. Okay, very nice. The left one is okay. No, I'm not asking empty or full. Okay, this folder is, what is that? Which icon? This one is which icon? Okay. Yeah, this is shortcut to another folder, the second one. First one is empty. I'm not asking, I said that. The left one is folder direct, very nice. The first one is folder, second one is documents, you said. That's good, but let me answer this question, and because of our times, I will show to you the different things. The first is, as you see, folder icon. The second one is the right one. Okay, shortcut icon. And why we are saying that? Not important is it's full or not, is empty or not. And if there is no any arrow icon with the folder, we are saying folder icon like this. If you see that, it means this is shortcut. When you click this folder, it will go to original folder place, okay, and it will select inside. Let's continue the next slide. This is quotation, choose your color to find your true way. Everybody, we don't know which way is best, but you need to think the best way with your parents, with your friends, with your mind, but don't think about that. The best way is the mind of it, okay? Just find your, sometimes you can use the orange, sometimes you can use the blue and the other colors. let me show to you guys. Let me show to you now, and I want to change my screen. Let's see that. This is now my screen, my computer, and what I said, if you want to use applications, you are going to left side. Okay, like the color is different, it can be, you can change it. From here, you can find your appropriate or whatever you want, your application. For example, if you want to use Microsoft Word, okay, it's not written there because yeah, it's not, it's written Word, and also let me see here. You can select from the office, or let's see that, for example, I want to use Microsoft Word. You can type on this place, search box, and click it, okay? Just click it. It's opening here. Let's make it small. And the next one is what I showed to you, background changing. Right click, and you can go to personalize, see, or the other way, see that, settings and personalization. Let's go to a different way, which I showed to you. From the start menu, if you go to settings here, click that, all changings you can do it here. Okay, from here, what was that? Personalization. If you couldn't remember that, you can find from the settings. Okay, let's see, for example, I don't know, background, okay, and you can hear background apps, background, for example, pictures, choose your desktop background. Specifically, you can go there, but I want to go personalization, and from the background, okay, let's change our background. For example, here I clicked, only click that, okay, and for example here, the next one, as you see, you can change it. And there are some differences. If you want, you can change the size of the picture, or for example, you can use slideshow. If you select that, which pictures you have, it is changing in some minutes. For example, here, in a day, in 6 hours, in 1 minute, and 10 minutes, you can select here. Now, I don't want to change it, or let's say you can change solid colors. See, some colors from here. Let me select the pink, or like orange, okay? Just click, or yellow, something, okay? That's purple. And let's select from the picture and the Windows logo. Okay, that's good. You know, I think you understand it. The next thing over here, inside of that, you can browse the pictures. If you have more pictures, you can find from browser. I don't know, now there is no any hard drive here, just the Windows operating system local disk we have. If we go to pictures, maybe we cannot find anything, okay? Now, we are not selecting that. Let's close it. And now, I think you can also check from Google. Yeah, very nice. Thank you very much. This is advising. And we can check from Google. Nice. Thank you. And the next one is, guys, what's that? We show the start menu, background, and the template. Yes. From right click, everybody, most of you, maybe you didn't think about that. If you want to create anything, for example, urgently, you can create folder from here. Let's say previous one lesson. Okay. And after that, let's go to inside, right click, and we are going to new to select the template. For this, for example, I want to create Excel worksheets. Let's type it, for example, student list. And if you press enter, it will change that. And after second press enter or double click with the mouse, you can start to use. Okay, let's see that. For example, very simple thing. I will type it here, 1 and 2, and you can learn some trickies. If you type 1 and 2, it will continue without any typing here, and just names. And okay, it's enough, I think. Let me type A, B, C, and D students. Okay, not important to save or not. Just I want to show that the same place you can use again the template. Okay, just for example, notes. Sorry, and maybe not important. You can see here also the size of the documents. Okay. Now, guys, that's all for me. And if you want to use effectively, just try it. Don't afraid of anything. But if you change some system settings, maybe it can be damage the operating system. But apart of this, you can use it everything on Windows. Okay, this is Windows operating system. Which operating system I'm using now? Windows 10. How do you understand it? Which operating system you are using? If you want to learn that, guys, and there are several ways. The first one is I'm going to, for example, any document from the taskbar. From the taskbar, if you go that inside of this PC, okay, just you can use the right click on this PC and properties. If you click the properties on the PC, you can see that Windows 10 home single language, okay, and some specific informations you can see that, for example, Intel Core i and 2 gigahertz, the speed of the CPU, and the 4 gigabyte or 4 gigabyte is RAM internal memory, as you see, and 64-bit operating system with the processor. And the name of the computer, the default, it's given by installation, and it is activated too. Okay, you can learn something from that. If you have any question, and I'm asking now, you can write on the chat.